Hey, this is Charles Onyett with IGN doing another review and progress update for Guild Wars 2. And this is a game I've been playing since launch. It hasn't been out that long. It's only been out, hasn't even been a week yet at the point where I'm posting this video. But I've just been highlighting different areas of the game, showing off how they work. And obviously there's a lot of content here. I'm not really ready to, give a final review or anything like that. It's going to be a bit... MMOs are huge games meant to be played for years, so it does take a while to play them, and it takes a while to review them properly. So that's why I wanted to do these reviews in progress to kind of give you a sense of what I'm looking at, how I'm playing through, and what I think leading up to the eventual final scored review. So this mode pits 3 servers against each other in massive player versus player combat. And massive, you may say, oh, it's really not that massive or something. It's actually pretty big. There are 4 maps here, across which are scattered a whole bunch of capture points, and you get different types of capture points as well. You get, there's a keep in the middle here. These actually have NPCs standing in them that you need to battle against in order to take control of them. They're the less heavily defended towers around maps that still have walls and things like that that you can set siege equipment up on. And then there are also supply camps that are not guarded very heavily that you can run into and take over a lot more easily, and also are more difficult to defend. It's a really interesting mode because all of this ties together. These aren't just isolated capture points. There's a system of supply that connects everything that becomes very important when you consider how to best defend captured territory. So you can see these caravans running around. Unfortunately, they're red. They're not our caravans. And so what they're doing is they're delivering supply. You can see this one heading towards this keep. They're delivering supply to each of these captured territories, and then you use that supply to build siege equipment and things like that inside the structures so that you have a better shot at fending off an attacking force. So that becomes very important, both protecting these caravans as they run around, as well as making effective use of the supply that is delivered to the structures. However, that is a luxury for teams that actually have territory. If you'll notice, almost this entire zone, except for over here, is red. I am not red. That is not, I'm blue. So we have this stuff, and that's kind of it. Unfortunately, that's sort of all we have here. So Northern Shiverpeaks are doing a very good job at making us look stupid. Sea of Sorrows, kind of in the middle somewhere. Tarnished Coast, which is my home world, pretty bad. Pretty, yeah, not a whole lot of other ways to say that. It's just bad. Not a lot of representation from our team. You can actually jump into this mode whenever you want to. If you're playing in the regular PvE world, you just you can jump into this mode and it will scale you up to level 80, but you will still use the same character that you had in the PvE mode. So I still have my same skill set unlocked. I'm still wearing my same gear. It's just basically adjusted my stats. So I get increases here because my level scaling is up to 80, and it's just so everyone can be on a relative playing field. Even though, you can jump in here from a very early level, I wouldn't necessarily recommend that unless you've played a lot of Guild Wars 2 already through the beta testing sessions, because it definitely makes a difference, your success in PvP, if you really know your class, if you're very comfortable with your skill build, and you really know how you should fit into a fight. That adds a lot to the mode. And I will say, newcomers, there's a lot to this mode to really figure out the specific mechanics of everything that goes on, from building siege weapons to protecting supply. There's a lot to it. There's a tutorial guy up here who will kind of give you a zone overview and explain what's going on, but even then it takes a while to really play around with the mode and get a feel for how everything flows. Now, that is a time investment from what I've seen so far that is absolutely worth making, because this mode makes the PvP offerings in other recent MMOs like The Secret World and Star Wars The Old Republic look really lame. This is way more sophisticated and ultimately way more fun than anything found in those modes. And I really like how something that is this deep, this huge, and meant as kind of part of the end game experience there really aren't that many hoops to jump through to get in, aside from the initial learning curve. But, I mean, you can just hop in and start fighting. So I will explain the siege equipment here very quickly. I have an arrow cart and flame ram blueprints. You can also get ballistas, catapults, trebuchets, and alpha siege golems, who I assume is this guy. I haven't fought against them since launch yet. They're fairly expensive, but yeah, you spend money to buy these, and then you can set them up on the battlefield, but they don't just instantly come into existence. You need to spend supply, which I have here. I only have 5 supply, actually. I should have 10, but I only have 5. You spend supply on them to actually create that object so that it can be interacted with and controlled and used. And so I could, if I built an arrow cart, I could actually jump into that arrow cart and then rain arrows down upon enemies. There are a couple different attack types with them as well, so there's variation, there's skill with using those a little bit. Obviously, an arrow cart only has like 3 skills, so there's not really that much skill compared to like your character skill set. But there's still a little bit of variety there. Now that is a group of clustered other players, which I'm not really going to go near. They're probably going to kill us. We really don't have a lot going on right now. We're doing so poorly. Nope, there's another guy. That's Northern Shiver Peaks, who have pretty much taken... Oh, God, they're coming after me. It's going to be bad. I'm just going to run. Go, go, go. Okay, they're backing up a little bit. See if I can throw some magic at them. Crazy magic ball, detonate for healing. But yeah, you get into these conflicts. This is actually a very small scale conflict compared to most of the time what you see in this mode. Which is why I say that it really... Oh, I wish that hadn't happened. Which is why I say that it really helps to have a solid understanding of your character, because trying to survive in the midst of all this chaos when you're not really sure of what your abilities are is pretty tough. But usually, if you have enough players around, you can still kind of try to hang around on the edge of the battle line and attempt to not be focus fired down by your opponents, which is why AoE skills tend to be pretty good, which is why I'm using the staff here, because the main auto attack is just this big AoE skill, and then I'm using kind of ground blanketing abilities as well. I can put up this wall that will actually impede enemy movement, launching magic at them that can also heal my allies. As a Guardian, a lot of my my healing abilities really become effective here, especially this elite ability that I can use to create this spell book that can kind of just blanket ground with fire all over the place, which is really nice for large-scale PvP, because then I can just kind of carpet the ground under a foe with a whole bunch of damaging fire. I need to get out of the red stuff, because red is very bad. Get out of red circles whenever possible. Looks like somebody healed me. But yeah, and take advantage of your class heals and things like that. I have another AoE skill here, but you can, when you play this mode enough, you can start to see how some skills that maybe you weren't using that much in the PvE game become much, much more valuable when you're fighting against large groups of enemies like this, especially enemies who are very mobile, because mobility is so important in this game to try and stay alive. This guy just didn't even care. Just came right in and killed everybody. Unfortunately, he is totally going to kill me if I am not able to get out of here. Let's see if I can help out. Oh, he's down. Oh my God. I think we're having a downed battle right now. Oh, he's back up. Yeah, I'm dead. Oh, that was unfortunate. If you are able to kill players, though, you can actually loot them. So you can make progress within this mode. You can level, you gain experience for making kills, and the loot will, be useful for you. You can pick. Oh, there we go. I got some experience. So yeah, you can absolutely level in this mode if you want to. You keep that cap of the auto scale to 80. But yeah, you can make progress, unlock new things. There are actually skill challenges around the map, so you can earn skill points. There are enemy encampments. So this Hylic camp, for instance, is just full of computer-controlled monsters, and you'll find bosses and things like that scattered around the map as well. So it's not only PvP stuff you're doing across the map. It's a combination of the two, and this entirely different kind of progression track for the game, I think, is really well done. And what's really cool is that even if you don't necessarily have somebody who's on the map who's acting as kind of a battlefield commander and people are actually listening to them, you can still get you can still make progress even with only very loose organization because of the way the map sort of lets you know what's happening. There, you can just see I switched weapon sets. I'm going to try and get a stun down on this guy. See if I can... I don't know if we're going to be able to get up there. So even if you are, you know, totally new and maybe you don't know what's going on, but you're just curious to check it out, you know, it is possible to really make progress across the map because you will see these cross swords wherever battles are happening. You see these icons for players running around. So you get a sense of kind of where you need to go. Unfortunately, our team needs to go. I mean, we're so dominated on this map at this point. I don't even know what we're going to do. We need more people, basically. I mean, even if... Oh my God. Why did I check my map in the middle of a battlefield? Oh, Root. Where's your magic now? Again, movement's so important. Staying out of enemy attack ranges, you know, when in PvP battles like this, but also... once you get near bases, major forts and things like that, we're just in a really bad shape here. You know, you have to watch out for siege equipment as well. Those arrow towers, ballistas, things like that will start attacking you because I guarantee there are a line of them built on their keep over here. So that's just another aspect of the combat that you really need to pay attention to, and what makes it feel so much more different than the regular PvE game, and also differentiates it a little bit from the PvP arenas, which are much more structured team conflicts, you know, because this is so open, because there's so much uncertainty and tension to a match. You know, it's a little bit more unpredictable, and I think a little bit more exciting. And it makes really capturing territory, even though there's absolutely no way I'm going to be able to show this off in this video unless everyone from our server decides to go over to World v World suddenly. But it makes successes in the World v World conflicts feel so significant because it does become this big social team effort where everyone is really joining in, pitching into the experience, and taking over, you know, a big objective. That has some weight to it. It has a great sense of satisfaction associated with it. Now, on the flip side of that, if you lose a whole bunch of territory, you are going to feel terrible. And it's so demoralizing to lose something, especially if you are also there to pick it up as well. Here you can see the damage I'm able to do with this fire carpet. It didn't seem to actually kill anyone though, unfortunately. But yeah, if you lose territory, man, that's it's a brutal feeling, especially if you feel yourself get cornered kind of back into your base as we have here. It is really demoralizing, but you know that's part of it. That's what makes the successes feel significant, is the fact that you really can lose quite a bit. And I like the fact that it also ties back into the PvE experience, where it gives you bonuses, assuming your server is actually able to do well. And you know, unfortunately, you can find yourselves in situations like this where it doesn't seem like our server is necessarily that interested in the World v World conflict. Or has been so demoralized by our constant losses here that people have just stopped logging in, to the point where, you know, the other team is basically at our doorstep in front of our Asura gates, and we're desperately firing at spirit weapons from a Guardian with the hopes of achieving some kind of success in a battlefield that just doesn't seem to want to give us any room to move, really. I was just trying to kill somebody here so I could show off looting, even though everyone probably knows what that looks like anyway. But yeah, if we were able to... Oh, he got healed. If we were able to kill someone, yeah, you could loot them as normal and things like that, which is really cool. Seems like a very well-designed mode. I haven't done a lot of big structure takeovers yet, and I haven't checked out some of the higher-level siege equipment or anything like that. But let me, just for an example purpose, I know I'm doing it wrong, and I shouldn't do this, but just to show you how this works, I'm going to put an arrow cart on the ground here. And it's a waste of money, but this is how you would do it. It sets up this structure, and then your team basically builds around it. And so I'm spending supply on this structure. If anyone else wanted to spend their supply on it, they could, but it's not built yet. It does require quite a bit of supply, more than I could possibly have, and there obviously it was, you know, destroyed by the other team. Again, I knew that wasn't a good idea. I just wanted to show it off. Yeah, I look forward to playing this mode a lot more as I continue to level through the game and check out dungeons and structured PvP and how the rest of the story works and develops in the PvE world. So yeah, I'll continue to play Guild Wars 2 for review, and for more updates, you can keep it tuned to IGN.